Okay, now guys, yesterday in the previous lesson, we talked about the proportion that we set up for percents all the time. It's always is over of equals percent over 100. Okay, sometimes I'm going to be given sentences like this in this first example that say, what percent of 16 is 7? Now I want to take just a second and say, in any of these problems, sometimes we'll be missing the is number. Sometimes we'll be missing the of number. Or sometimes we're looking for the percent. We're never missing the 100. Okay, we always know it's going to be over 100, this percent. But any of these other three circled in blue, any of those could be missing. So what we do is, we want to write this proportion over again. And the 100 is going to always be in the bottom right. I can just write that. That's done. But then I want to look at the sentence and see what is it that I'm missing. This says what percent of 16 is 7. Okay? Now the first thing I know is that it says what percent. So I know that that's what I'm missing, is the percent. So where the percent sign is in the top right. That's where I'm going to put my x, because that's the thing I'm looking for. It said what percent. Okay? It says what percent of 16. Okay, so 16 must be my of number, and that goes in the bottom left. Okay? Of 16 is 7. So that goes in the top left. And then my proportion set up, all I do is cross multiply and divide. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright? 16x, when I cross multiply this way, 7 times 100, when I cross multiply this way. Okay? And then I need to divide by 16 on both sides. And I'm going to get x equals, and guys, I'm just going to do 16 into 700 over here to the left. 16 goes into 700 4 times, I think. 4 times 16 is 64. And then I'm going to subtract there, and I get 6. Bring down my 0. Oh, Smartboard's kind of whacking out on me. Okay, are we there? It's not there. Alright, let's get rid of that now. Alright, 4 times 16 is 64. Subtract, I get 6. Bring down my 0. Now 16 into 60 goes 3 times. 3 times 16 is 48. And I'm going to subtract and get 12. Now guys, I can keep going here and get a decimal if I'd like. Or, you guys know that I can write this as a mixed number also. I can write this as 43 and 12/16. The remainder always goes over the divisor. Okay? But I need to reduce that 12 over 16. Right? 4 goes into both of those. 4 goes into 12 3 times, and 4 goes into 16 4 times. So my final answer is 43 and 3/4. Now some of you are going to say, hey, Mr. C, can't I write that as 43.75? Absolutely, you can write it as 43.75, because 0.75 is the same thing as 3/4, right? I could write it as 700 over 16, but I need to reduce it. That would be 350 over 8. I need to reduce that, and that's 175 over 4, and I think that's it. But that's kind of that number's kind of hard to look at. It's easy to work with, but it's hard to look at. But we could also say that x equals 175 over 4 if I just reduce the 700 over 16. Okay? And I think that that's it. Nice job, guys. I like the 43 and 3/4 and the 43.75. That's easy to look at. Okay?